What if the silence you fear isn't an ending but a door opening? What if the pause between two heartbeats isn't emptiness, but God inhaling with you before He speaks? Listen. The room seems to hold its breath. Outside it's dawn, everything still. The air brushes your skin, neither cold nor warm. Your shoulders drop, your jaw loosens, your mind releases its grip. On the horizon there's a change you can't yet name, like an unseen tide reshaping the shore of your life. Your head tries to understand it, but your body feels it first. Something is arriving. Even if you don't understand, you belong to this moment. Sometimes the most sacred act is to let the silence be sacred. Bow your head and breathe as if breath itself were the word. There are days when our certainties collapse and we're left holding shards. A job vanishes, a piece of news splits the night, a relationship ends with a sentence sharp as a blade. The floor tilts, the calendar empties, the clock ticks too loud. You look around and your life feels like a room after a storm. Fragments of habits, the salt of tears, the smell of electricity in the air. And yet, in the collapse, there is a hidden altar. Because what falls also reveals. When the unnecessary leaves, the essential shines. Small, intact, alive, like an ember cupped in your hands. Fear tightens your throat. Pain weighs on your chest. Questions pound. Why this? Why now? Why me? But the deepest wound isn't the lack of answers. It's our refusal to rest in the unanswered. We think understanding will save us, but first we need a place to set the weight down. Set it down. Take the boulder you've carried for years, the one no one sees, and place it on the ground as if at the foot of a cross. Look at it with kindness and say, I see you. Healing begins like this. Not with perfect explanations, but with recognition. The body tells the truth before words do. Hunched shoulders, dimmed eyes, shallow breath. Bring the breath home. Inhale through your nose as if drawing a thin thread of light up your spine. Exhale and feel the earth receive what you release. You don't have to win this moment. You have to consent to it. Resilience isn't stiffening, it's bending to the wind without breaking. Waiting has seasons. Long, bright afternoons when nothing seems to move except shadows on the wall. Nights when the ceiling is a dark sea and your thoughts are restless fish. Dawns that taste like metal and possibility. Waiting isn't empty, it's incubation. Seeds don't shout as they open. Inside you, beneath the noise, roots are growing deeper. We want to force the cocoon, but flight needs darkness first. The psalm says God is ever-present help. Present doesn't always mean loud. Sometimes presence is a light hand on your back, guiding you through a room you can't see yet. A whisper rises in your chest. Not a plan or a map, just a word. Continue. And it's enough for one more step. Life speaks with small signals, lanterns along a path. A line at the market that rings inside your ribs. A page found on the right day. A feather on the threshold. A forgotten song returning just as the rain breaks. The ego wants proof. The heart recognizes goodness and calls it language. Learn the alphabet of small things. They don't explain why, they show where. It isn't superstition, it's attention. God speaks in rhythms and cycles. The lesson returns in new clothes until you say, I'm ready. Inside you, there's a nearly empty room with one window. This is where you keep what you didn't want to feel. You call it shadow, but it isn't evil. It's excluded. Sealed memories, denied desires, fears called weakness. They're not there to sabotage you. They are waiting to be heard. Sit with them like you would with a frightened child at 3 in the morning. You don't need to persuade the child. Stay close. I'm here, you whisper, and something ancient in your chest relaxes. Light doesn't kill darkness, it wraps it. In the ravine of yourself you avoided, a spring is hidden. What you refuse to face rules your life. What you bless loses its power to haunt and begins to heal. Letting go isn't losing. It's trusting movement. We cling to old stories because they're familiar, even when they hurt. But the true self isn't a museum, it's a cathedral of air. When you loosen your grip, you make space for the unexpected. It feels like falling. Then you discover it's a landing. Be still and know. Not be brilliant, not be certain. Be still. Knowledge grows in quiet, like morning grows in darkness. Surrender isn't waving a white flag. It's laying down your weapons so your hands are free to build. Imperfection isn't the enemy. It's the doorway. Think of kintsugi. Cracks filled with gold aren't hidden, they're honored. Think of the scar on your knee, a reminder you fell and rose. Think of the hairline fracture in your heart where empathy enters. We were taught to cover fractures with smooth faces and neat answers, but the world trusts faces that have lived. The more you polish, the less you can hold. The more honest you are, the more life fits in your hands. Let your story show. A healed wound is a teacher, a visible seam is a map. This isn't glorifying pain, it's refusing to waste it. If the light must enter through the crack, offer the crack. Hope isn't a stadium roar. It's a candle that won't go out even when the windows shake. It isn't naive. It's inheritance. How many before you stood at the edge and chose to believe in an unseen tomorrow? Protect that flame with cupped hands. Feed your mind and heart. Read a page that lifts. Step outside and let the sky touch your eyes. Send a message. Thinking of you. Make soup. Wash a dish. Small acts of life. Hope lives there. And when the wind rises, lean closer. You'll discover the flame isn't only yours. You're part of an ancient fire that has always warmed us. Time isn't a knife, it's a river. It doesn't cut pain away. It carries it, softens it, teaches it to float. We want rescue today. Time offers repair. Let it work. Stop measuring progress with the ruler you built in panic. Some seasons call you to run, others to stay. Some days you win by miles. Some days you win by one more breath. The prayer is the same. Give us today our daily bread. Not tomorrow's strategy, not yesterday's analysis. The next step. If you can't see the whole staircase, find the nearest stair. The fog is mercy. It keeps you in the present. Your breath is a portable sanctuary. When the wave seems higher than you, return to the tide in your lungs. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Let the exhale be a real release. Hear the soft sound, like the sea sliding off the shore. Feel the cool at the top, the warmth at the bottom. Notice how each cycle widens the present, how your body loosens its armor one clasp at a time. You don't need to escape to find peace. You need to inhabit where you are, kindly. Make your breath a chapel. Go there often. And when the soul's morning arrives, don't expect trumpets. Expect dew. Expect the click of a long-stuck lock finally giving way. Expect the light to enter like a patient friend who pauses on the threshold and smiles. Resurrection rarely shouts. It slips in, and you notice it when you catch yourself humming as you tie your shoes. When it happens, let that rhythm move your feet. Honor the past as teacher, not as jailer. thank what broke you for what it taught you. Then look at the day in front of you and say yes. Awareness doesn't make everything lighter by magic. It makes you wider inside. You stop carrying other people's expectations on your back. Stop apologizing for breathing. Stop rehearsing arguments that won't happen. The inner sky clears. Presence isn't a mental trick. It's love. You touch the wood of the table, hear the rain on the roof, smell the orange you just peeled, and remember, you are a soul in a body, not a head on fire. Nothing outside must change for you to live this grace. The kingdom is within you, said the Master. Open the door from the inside. Not everything must be understood to be loved. Some mysteries want to be held, not solved. Sit by the lake of your life. Watch the small waves. Let them be. The need to control shrinks the space where miracles happen. Surrender enlarges it. This isn't passivity. It's alliance with a wisdom older than your fear. Walk into the fog like those who crossed the sea on dry ground without knowing how. Your task isn't omniscience. It's obedience to the small nudge. One step, then another. You'll see the path form under your feet. It's as if the earth itself rejoices at your courage. Now rise, loosen your shoulders, lift your face. Place your hand on your heart and feel the drum that has never abandoned you. You're not late. You're in the making. You're not broken beyond repair. You're broken open for light. Where you stand, build a small altar, a promise kept, a deep breath, a kindness offered, a fear befriended. Today choose one thing to release and one new thing to begin. Bless what ends. Welcome what begins. Trust the timing you don't understand and the presence you cannot mistake. Step out with your flame. If the wind grows, remember, fire learns to lean. Heaven meets you in the leaning. Begin gently. Grow strong. Shine always.